Canadian Nitrogen Services is a Canadian oilfield service company with a fleet of vehicles that provide a fully integrated mobile nitrogen generator specifically designed for rapid deployment in remote locations. While other membrane systems or inert gas generators require multiple transports and long setup or breakdown times, this system is mounted on a single trailer and already interconnected and calibrated. The process for creating nitrogen begins at the front of the trailer-mounted unit. Ambient air is taken in through the intake filter and builds pressure in the oil separator, reaching 40 to 60 psig. When the system is loaded, engine speed increases to 1800 to 2050 rpm, and the control system loads the compressor, building pressure to 350 psig. At this point, the compressor delivers air to the membrane pretreatment system. In the pretreatment system, the air passes through an oil separator that removes oil and/or coolant from the air to levels of 3 to 7 parts per million. The oil-free air then enters the air aftercooler, which causes water and oil vapors to condense. Separators and filters remove condensate and larger particulates as the air moves on to a coalescing filter that removes fine aerosols and finer particles. The air is then reheated before entering the carbon tower, which keeps the air temperature substantially above the dew point temperature of air. When the reheated air enters the carbon tower, vapors are removed. The purified air then proceeds to the air separation membranes, which allow oxygen, water vapor, and carbon dioxide to permeate the walls of the hollow fibers, leaving a high-pressure concentrate of nitrogen. The nitrogen is collected in a manifold and directed through the back pressure control valve. A product valve vents the flow of nitrogen until purity reaches the minimum requirement. In the final stage, the nitrogen passes a flow meter and fills a nitrogen receiver before entering a series of pressure boosters and heat exchanger, all of which builds the discharge pressure to 4000 psig or 27.6 megapascals. Nitrogen flow is controlled by a combination of inlet pressure variations and bypassing the final discharge back into the first stage inlet through a flow control valve. In the control cabin, the feed air compressor skid, membrane skid, and booster skid have individual control panels to monitor critical operating pressures and temperatures. The membrane control system allows for the selection of nitrogen purity and flow rate. Canadian Nitrogen's generator systems are designed to deliver nitrogen at remote locations where the cost of delivered liquid nitrogen is high, when the scheduling and delivery of nitrogen takes a long time, or when the requirement calls for continuous service. Nitrogen generators eliminate the troublesome logistics and timing of liquid nitrogen supply, while delivering nitrogen at a cost that reflects the elimination of transport costs. Canadian Nitrogen Services. Nitrogen on demand, where and when you need it.